Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Math Puzzle Crash Course. We've got a problem here. I think I've worked on this one maybe over a year ago, did a video, but I'm wanting to update it a little bit. Some of the early videos I did a year or two ago, it was before I even really had any video editing software, so I wanted to try to clean a few of these up a little bit from what I had in the past. But the problem today is 50 plus 50 minus 25 times 0 plus 2 equals what? All right, so as we do a lot, if you want to, you can pause the video here, try and work this one out, come back with your answer, and we will work this out together. All right, so hopefully you paused the video and took a look at it. I want to start out by saying that this problem uses the order of operations. This it follows that you need to first look for parentheses. Now, if you're from the UK, you may be considered calling these brackets. You have parentheses or brackets that you're looking for. We don't have any here. The second thing you look for are things like exponents. Sometimes it's also referred to as indices or orders. There's different acronyms out there like PEMDAS, BODMAS, BEDMAS, and BIDMAS. They all mean the same thing. They're all referring to the same four steps, but sometimes there's different names that are used for these. But your third step would be multiplication and division left to right. Multiplication and division have equal precedence, so you just go left to right and solve them in the order that you see them. And then your addition and subtraction, yeah, I've got it set here left to right. Honestly, it doesn't matter what order you add and subtract as you're going left to right. You're going to get the same answer. Um, but again, we want to go back to this problem. So we don't have any parentheses. We don't have any exponents. We do have multiplication. So we would solve the multiplication first. And I know there's a few people out there that have gotten an answer. The most common incorrect answer would be 4. And then there's another really incorrect answer of 79, um, which I guess we'll get into that one. But yeah, 25 times 0 is 0. So 50 plus 50 minus 0 plus 2 is equal what? Equal to what? So you I mean now it's just addition and subtraction, right? So yeah, 50 plus 50 minus 0 plus 2 is 104. Um, Now again, I've seen a lot of wrong answers out there that will say the answer is 4. And what's happening there is that somebody is just, person's just going left to right, and they're ignoring the order of operations. And that is incorrect. You do not go left to right and ignore the order of operations. You go left to right, but you follow the order of operations. And in this case, you're looking for multiplication. So the correct answer to this is 104. Now, I'm going to go on and explain this and say that, a lot of people will say, well, gee, if you were supposed to do the multiplication first, why wasn't it written first? Well, it doesn't have to be written first. Multiplication has precedence over addition and subtraction. It always has. And if you want to, you can rewrite the problem. And I did that here. I wrote it minus 25 times 0 plus 50 plus 50 plus 2 plus 2. That still equals 104. So what you're going to find out, it doesn't matter what order you arrange these in, you're going to get the same answer. Because minus 25 times 0 is minus 0. Well, minus 0 plus 50 plus 50 plus 2 is still 104. Now, another thing you can do in these problems, if some people are confused about mixing addition and subtraction, you can replace all the multiplication with equivalent addition. In this case, minus 25 times 0 is the same thing as subtracting 25 0 times. Now, subtracting 25 0 times is the same thing as subtracting 0. And then just to keep in mind here, 25 times, because I will see a lot of people say, well, 25 times 0 is 0, but 0 times 25 well, no, actually, it's usually the other way around. I've had people say 25 times 0 is still 25. I still have my 25, but 0 times 25 is 0. That seems to be a real common confusion among some people, and it really puzzles me. To this day, I don't understand it, but I've seen that answer from people, and I think it's just people are forgetting what multiplication even means. 25 times 0 is the same thing as adding 25 0 times. Well, if I add it 0 times, I've added 0, right? If I add if I added 25 one time, I would have 25. Why is that? Adding 25 one time is the same as 25 times a 1. 0 times 25 is the same as adding 0 25 times. I forgot to write adding in here, but it's the same as adding 0 25 times. Well, if I add 0 25 times, I still have 0 in the end, right? If I keep adding nothing to nothing, it's still nothing. Some people, I think, confuse, where I think people are saying 25 times 0 is 25, is I think they're confusing it with 25 plus 0. They're actually confusing addition and multiplication. 25 plus 0 is 25. So yeah, I hope that's helpful. Now, I also want to explain something here about calculators. I've just got a little brief explanation here about the differences in some calculators and why some people say they get 4 with their calculator. But what it really indicates is they don't know how to use their calculator correctly. And I'm going to explain that here just in a second. Hey, we're gonna try this on a couple different calculators here. This is on a Windows 11 PC, and normally this calculator on a Windows computer defaults in what's called standard mode. And this is really similar to a calculator you might have from the Dollar Tree or Dollar Store. A very simple calculator that's great for adding and subtracting. Not so good for mixing multiplication and addition. These kind of calculators are not good for mixed operations. Now, what I will say is that a standard mode calculator on a computer and a lot of your cheap calculators work in what's called immediate execution mode. So if I take this problem and try to enter it as it's written, 50 plus, whoops, sorry, let me start over here again. It was 50 plus 50 and then minus, here we go, I'm so sorry, 50 plus 50 minus, there we go, 50 plus 50 is 100 minus 25 times, see what it did already? 0 plus 2 plus 2 equals, and you get 4. But what you'll notice here in this upper right corner is that it's showing 2 plus 2 is 4. That's the last thing you're left with. And what's happening is this thing's using immediate execution mode. So it took the 50 plus 50, gave you 100. Then I typed minus 25. As soon as I typed minus 25, it thought that I was adding 50 and 50 and then subtracting 25, and then it gave me 75. And then it thought, okay, 75 times 0 is 0, and then plus 2 and plus 2. I was trying to enter it in by the expression, and you cannot do that here. On this type of calculator, it's using immediate execution mode. It does not mean that the correct answer is 4. That 4 is the wrong answer, but I will see a lot of people use a calculator like this, and they'll go, look, my calculator said it's 4. Well, it's because that this kind of calculator does not work in expression mode. If you are in scientific mode, you can enter the entire expression, and I'm going to show that to you. You're not going to have just 2 plus 2 is 4. You're going to have the whole expression. So if I go 50 plus 50 minus, you can see it already, 25. Look at that. Times 0 plus 2 plus 2, and then hit equals. Now, before I hit the equal sign, you can already see that it's showing 50 plus 50 minus 25 times 0 plus 2 plus, and then I've got this last 2, and then I'm going to hit the equal sign, and you get 104. And let's compare this with what we had before. You can remember when I had this in standard mode, it just showed 2 plus 2 with an answer of 4. This is showing the entire expression, which is 50 plus 50 minus 25 times 0 plus 2 plus 2. So you can get around that. If you've got a cheap calculator, you just have to understand the order of operations, and you just have to know that you need to solve that first. You need to solve the multiplication first on that cheap calculator, and you'll be fine. You'll get the correct answer of 104. So hopefully this explanation has been helpful.